Coronation Street viewers are increasingly convinced that Kit Green and Bethany Platt could be heading towards an unexpected romance, with some fans even predicting that the pair may begin an affair while Sarah Platt remains in prison. The Platt family has endured months of turmoil after Sarah confessed to killing Theo. Since her arrest, Kit has been determined to help her, convinced that the best way to reduce her prison sentence is to prove that Gary Windass played a part in covering up the crime. In his efforts to help Sarah, Kit has unexpectedly found an ally in her daughter Bethany. However, as the two continue working together, some viewers believe their close relationship could eventually develop into something far more complicated. Since Sarah was taken into custody, Kit has gone out of his way to support her family. In recent episodes, he has become increasingly dependent on Bethany as they spend more time working together. Bethany has been helping Kit with Harry, taking him home and making sure there is food available while Kit concentrates on finding a way to help Sarah. When Bethany realized that Kit was keeping something from her, she refused to let the matter go and pressured him into explaining what was happening. Kit eventually admitted that he planned to investigate Gary's phone records in the hope of uncovering evidence that he assisted Sarah in hiding the truth about Theo's death. Bethany was initially uneasy about helping to gather evidence against Gary, but Kit persuaded her that it could be Sarah's strongest opportunity to receive a shorter sentence. The two then joined forces to go through the phone records. For now, their growing connection has been based entirely on their shared determination to help Sarah. However, viewers believe the situation could soon become much more complicated. Following the latest episodes, several fans have started to suspect that the soap could be laying the groundwork for a romance between Kit and Bethany. One viewer shared online, "I can see Kit and Bethany getting together." Another fan agreed, writing, "I can sense an affair igniting between Bethany and Kit. Working together for Sarah will bring them closer, and feelings will flare." A third viewer admitted, "I hope Bethany and Kit aren't going to have an affair." Meanwhile, another fan simply asked, "So when is Bethany going to get with Kit?" Although viewers are already speculating about a possible romance, upcoming Coronation Street spoilers reveal that Sarah will end her relationship with Kit next week. With their relationship coming to an end, the detective could soon find himself with a completely different romantic future. Coronation Street star admits feeling nervous about Dylan's major storyline. Coronation Street actor Liam McCheyne has opened up about the nerves he experienced while working on his character Dylan Wilson's latest major storyline, which sees him accidentally cause his girlfriend Betsy Swain to suffer a stroke after strangulation during sex. Although what happened between the couple was consensual, some people in Weatherfield have questioned whether that was actually the case. The storyline tackles a subject that is rarely explored or openly discussed on television, and McCheyne admitted that taking on such a sensitive issue was understandably challenging for both him and Betsy actress Sydney Martin. "It was definitely a mixture of excitement to portray such an important storyline and, of course, nerves," he explained. McCheyne said that working closely with Martin made the process much easier, as there was never any awkwardness between them. He explained that they both approached the storyline seriously and were determined to give the material everything they had. However, because of the seriousness and emotional weight surrounding the plot, he admitted that feeling nervous was unavoidable. Discussing the reaction from viewers, McCheyne revealed that he deliberately tries to avoid spending too much time on social media and even finds it difficult to watch his own performances. Despite that, he acknowledged that the storyline has generated a huge amount of discussion and described the public reaction as an important wake-up call. According to the actor, the storyline has encouraged people to have conversations about an issue that many may not realize is so widespread. He pointed out that some viewers have claimed such an incident would never happen, while others have responded by explaining that it does happen in real life. McChane also said he has been fascinated by the differences between generations when it comes to reactions to the storyline. He admitted that he had not previously understood just how common the issue could be among younger people. Research carried out with the Institute for Addressing Strangulation highlighted statistics showing how significant the trend is among people aged between 16 and 24. Since Dylan and Betsy fall directly within that age range, McChane believes they were particularly suitable characters through which to explore the subject and deliver the important message. Those conversations ultimately helped him gain a deeper understanding of Dylan's emotional state and how the character might cope with the consequences of what happened to Betsy. Jailed Sarah makes a shocking discovery about Kit and Gary in new Coronation Street spoiler video. As Coronation Street enters its darker Bad Girls era, Sarah Platt is paying a heavy price for killing Theo Silverton, with everything suggesting that she could face a lengthy spell behind bars. Despite this, her corrupt police boyfriend Kit Green is doing everything possible to keep her out of prison. At the same time, Kit is determined to make sure Gary Windass takes the blame for the crime instead. To be fair, Gary is hardly innocent in the situation. He has a troubled past of his own, and Sarah turned to him after she struck Theo over the head and sent him falling onto the cobbles below. Gary then advised Sarah on how she could avoid being caught, while Jody Ramsey complicated matters further by attacking Sarah shortly after Theo's death. The situation even led Kit and Gary's partner Maria Connor to believe that Sarah and Gary were involved in a secret affair. However, the reality was nowhere near as scandalous as they imagined. Despite Sarah and Gary's attempts to keep everything hidden, Lisa Connor Swain eventually arrested Sarah and sent her to prison to await trial. Kit, however, has no intention of simply sitting back and hoping that Sarah somehow finds a way out of her situation. With access to police resources, Kit is prepared to use every trick available to achieve both of his objectives, securing Sarah's freedom and ensuring his rival Gary takes the fall. His investigation soon produces a major breakthrough when Kit obtains a hard drive containing a complete download of Gary's phone data. The information reveals that Gary was in a remote wasteland shortly after Theo's death. Naturally, Kit immediately becomes suspicious. Why would Gary have been spending time in an isolated wasteland unless he had something to hide? The truth is that Gary had gone there to dispose of the murder weapon, hoping to protect Sarah from being convicted for Theo's death. Confident that he now has enough evidence to destroy Gary and potentially free Sarah, Kit confronts him with what he has discovered. He later invites Gary to his flat, where he prepares to reveal exactly what the evidence means. Kit then gives Gary a terrifying ultimatum: confess to his involvement in Theo's death or face the consequences, when Kit sends a search team to the wasteland to recover the hidden weapon. If the weapon is found, Gary could be facing an even more serious prison sentence. However, Sarah remains completely unaware of the battle unfolding between the two men. Bethany is deeply worried about her mother and is also anxious about the escalating conflict between Kit and Gary outside the prison walls. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.